Hey, welcome back. So today is an exciting day because this is my usual audio interface, and now I'm finally making the upgrade to this guy, the UAD Arrow. Now this is, right, a little background. So I've been using this for a few years now, maybe 4 years since when I started university. That's one of the first things I invested in was this. The reason for that is because I wanted to start recording demos for the band that I was in at the time. So I got one of these and a really cheap pair of speakers, which were probably 3 inches in size. So they were tiny speakers. At the moment I'm using these. These are the Alesis Elevate 5. They're 5 inches, I believe. And they're not the best. They're not very good speakers at all, but I am making an upgrade soon. That's a separate video for that. But for now, I'm getting a new audio interface because this is what's going to be needed when I upgrade my speakers. This is what's going to give me a better sound. This is going to give me better preamps. So when I record things, whether it's live guitar and instruments like this, or record samples when we do sampling sessions. So if I record, like for example, I recorded my friend Ollie's drum kit last year. And I'm making a sample library from that, some drum stuff and also heavily processed trailer sounds as well. Now, again, with that, we recorded that on my M-Audio M-Track, which I believe you can't actually buy in stores anymore. And it's just a standard USB connection. But yeah, this one, the reason I went for the Arrow rather than the UAD Apollo, which is what a lot of my friends use and a lot of other composers use and producers, is that this, I don't know if you can see that, has a Thunderbolt connection, which is a lot better. It's always best to go for the latest. So Thunderbolt, I mean, yes, things are changing all the time, so you have to get new connections, but because I got a Mac Mini, in January I got a new Mac Mini, and that's really transformed my work. And my camera battery has just died and I'm not sure where the charger pack is, so we're back to the iPhone. Apologies for the quality, but I want to keep going straight ahead, because otherwise I'm not going to have time to do this video for at least another week, so I want to just get straight to it. So basically, yeah, I got a Mac Mini in January and that's completely transformed my workflow, and then I'm thinking about the space, because we moved to a new place. I might make a video about that, but it's no big deal. Quite a sort of a small room. It's not very large, but it does the job for what I need, which is really excellent. Now, what I'm thinking about is that I need to get the room treated. So I'm going to do some acoustic treatment, mostly acoustic tiles on the back wall and some bass traps. And that's what I've done some research and spoke to some people who've given me some really good advice. Shout out to Zahari Stonov in California, LA, for giving me some excellent advice. He's a mixer, and he's got some really good experience in this industry. So yeah, I really appreciate his advice, and that's one of the biggest things he recommended. So I'm gonna get 24 acoustic tiles, and I'm gonna get 4 or 6 bass traps, and there's some really good deals actually. There's one from a company called GB Foam. I'll leave the links below, but I'll make a separate video about that. And it's like £45 or £50 for the package, which is really excellent, and it's really good quality foam. I'll make a separate video about that when I get all of that and talk about, what kind of quality you're looking for when you're doing acoustic treatment. But yeah, so for now, this guy. So I've got the Mac Mini, absolutely transformed my workflow because it's 32 gigabytes. I was working with 8 gigabytes of RAM on my MacBook Air. So it's completely transformed everything. I can work with a lot larger templates in Logic and larger sessions, which is excellent. Now this thing is going to give me a better sound straight out of the box as well. It's going to have better preamp, so even when I'm doing videos with voiceovers, which I'm planning to do a lot more from the summer onwards. I know some of you have been requesting stuff like that. There is more stuff coming, and there's a lot of things going on at the moment, a lot of exciting things which I can't announce yet, but we'll get to that soon. But yeah, this is going to make a huge difference, and apparently even makes a difference when you're just listening on headphones. And I don't know too much about audio interfaces, just from what I've spoken to people about and got some advice from stores and things like that. So I'm excited for this because I think it's going to make a huge difference. And I actually got it at, obviously you get the UAD Real-Time Analog Classics UAD powered plugins bundle that already comes with it when you buy UAD interfaces. You get them for free, but also at the moment I believe there's a Manly plugin and some sort of auto-tune, but I'm excited to check out the Manly one because that's M-A-N-L-E-Y, because I've heard some good things about that. So we'll see. So it's I've got it in the period where it was on actually sale a little bit, and also there's some extra free plugins that you don't normally get. So really good time to pick it up. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm going to set this up and then maybe I'll do another video in the future to sort of give you my thoughts on how things sound different. Especially, I mean, it's going to make such a difference just getting the acoustic treatment, new interface, I've got my Mac Mini, and then eventually get some new speakers. It's going to make a huge difference. So yeah, I'm just, I've been saving up from work and things like this, birthdays and all of this. So yeah, it's just getting things ready, upgrading because I'm taking it seriously and I've got, my career. I'm investing for the long term. Necessarily, I might not have necessarily needed to get that interface for a while, but I'm planning to get new speakers. That's really a necessity, because if I get new speakers and the same interface that cost me about, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds, it's really not going to be something that great quality. It's like you've got these really high quality speakers and then a really not so good interface. I mean, it's done the job. It's not like it doesn't sound good. It's fine. It's been fine for what I've needed the past 4 years, whilst I was at university. And when I got this originally, I wasn't looking to do anything like this professionally. I was in a band at the time. I was just doing it to do demos so that we wouldn't have to spend extra on paying for demos. Crazy how these things work. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to get this all set up, and it's amazing where things go. So how I started with just wanting to do demos for my band and then starting to get into more pop music after that, I believe, and looking into things like, I don't know what you call it, indie pop, things like Bastille, Imagine Dragons, all of that kind of stuff, really interested in that. And then I got into composing because of a random module that we got at university on my songwriting degree. So that was amazing. It's amazing where things go. So had I not gone to study songwriting, which is what I wanted to do, I wouldn't have figured out that I wanted to actually do composing music. So that's awesome. And obviously part of that, to be a modern day composer, you've really got to be good at producing music. So that's something I've really been focusing on the past, I'd say maybe the past 6 months. I've really been focusing on what can I do to improve my overall production quality and everything. So yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. Look how nice that looks. I like it. UAD. Look at that. Oh, I'm excited. All right, so it's been about a week since I got this thing, and it's seriously awesome. I love how easy it is to use. So if I just press play on this, I've got it set to monitor, because that's what I want to be adjusting the volume of. And then if I want, for example, let me just play that so you can see. Let me use my left hand to hold it. And you know what's awesome? Down here, you've actually got, I've forgotten the word now, but you've got this thing that will show up, a meter, that's it, and it will show you what kind of gain you're at, what kind of volume. So for example, if it's clipping, it will show it up in red. Now, the C bit, so those lights will light up. So like this at the moment, we're about -3 roughly. Okay, even when the subs come in, and the percussion and all that, -3, which is good. That's kind of like, for this cue, I think that is one of the highest points for it. So that's a really good sort of level to be going for. So that's really cool. Let's just turn this down so you can hear me. But that's really awesome. Now you'll see if I press, for example, monitor, it's going to switch from monitor to headphones. And this is how I can adjust, for example, the volume on my headphones, and then back to monitors, which are the speakers, which is awesome. Now say I want to record something, whether I'm plugging in my guitar or I've got my microphone through the XLR, for example. If I wanted to do that, I'd press preamp, and then here it's going to show me again, I have to set the input level for that. Yeah, same thing. And then I can press input, and I've got mic or line, so mic is there, or line, and then you've also got another one which is high Z, high Z, and that's when you've got the guitar plugged in, it automatically switches to that. If I press preamp, I can switch between the two channels, channel 1 or channel 2, and channel 1 is just for high Z, because that's where your guitar input is. So again, really nicely organized, really like that. And then this is, you can do an automatic low cut. You can do 48 volts, which is your phantom power, which you need for some microphones. We can turn that off and on easily. And you'll also see here
that we have pad, which I believe cuts it down by, I can't remember what it is, if it's -10 or -20 dB. I need to have a look at that. But basically, when you're recording at really high levels, something that's got a really high input signal, you can use pad for that. This, I believe, is to do with phasing and inverting the phase. I need to have a little bit more read up on that, but that's really cool. You can press that. And link, I'm not too sure what that is, but these are the main functions here. I'm going to look into that a bit more. So another thing that I've sort of noticed is that the quality of the audio coming out of the speakers is slightly better. It's a subtle difference, but it does sound crisper and clearer. And particularly my DI guitar sounds so much better when I do it through the direct input, recording through the jack lead straight into the interface. It sounds good. Like, it actually doesn't sound like, so that's a big difference that I've noticed just there. So it's definitely overall, like, the audio difference is subtle, and I think it's partially due to because I've got pretty cheap speakers at the moment, but it definitely does make a difference even on those speakers. So I'm excited to see what it is like on my new speakers, which I'm getting very soon. So yeah, I hope this has been a little bit helpful, just seeing what I think of it like a week later. And I'm really loving the ease of use with it. There's only one dial that you change. It's so awesome. So it's such good quality. You can see that they've really focused. Again, this is what they've focused on, is serving customers quality rather than quantity. They're not trying to sell a load of cheaper units, it's quality hardware, so it's really awesome. There's nothing wrong with the M audio interface I had before. For that kind of price range, for what I needed it for me, for anyone in that kind of situation, that is absolutely perfect. So don't feel like you need to invest in this kind of thing, but it's just a natural progression, isn't it? Like, now I'm working towards doing music full time, and this is part of it, making sure I have really good production quality. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the UAD Arrow so far from using it for about a week. And all I can do is give it a huge thumbs up. And if you're looking for a new audio interface, I would recommend checking this out. I highly recommend it. It's really great. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing in another video soon. There'll be one coming soon about acoustic treatment and everything. I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments, and I hope you have an excellent day. See you in the next video. Cheers.